Today, in news that's gonna make me homicidal, DLSS 5. Now, DLSS 5 has, as I'm speaking, it is already attracting just huge amounts of negative attention on the internet. Literally no one seems to like this. Not a single person thinks this is good or cool. So I'm not going to be saying anything new in this video. If you were hoping for unique insights, no, I'm just pissed off. And I just want to rant about how fucking garbage this dumb bullshit is. And I'm not going to give you any penetrating, dramatic, original insight. I'm just going to express my disgust and my bafflement. There are parts of this that I genuinely do not comprehend. I don't have it in my mind to understand who looks at this and goes, wow, that's better. I genuinely don't understand it. So, a little bit of context. DLSS is NVIDIA's upscaling technology. It's been a part of NVIDIA graphics cards for a good long while now. And what it does in essence, well, there's a few different models of it. The function of it, essentially, is to allow computers to run higher fidelity video games with greater graphical detail at lower levels of power, right? So DLSS can do upscaling, which is to say you tell the computer, hey, output a signal that's 720p and then upscale it to 4K. And then the upscaler is going to do its darndest with all of its neural learning algorithm things to take this very low resolution image and scale it up to a much higher resolution and make it look good. And then your graphics card only has to render images at 720p, and you save a lot of power that way. So you can render stuff at 4K much easier than you possibly could if you were trying to render it like fully natively, right? Like that's a useful technology. They also have frame generation, which is to say that the AI hardware on the card looks at the output of the video game and like, oh, where are things moving? And it takes physics from the video game engine into calculation, and it goes, okay, this game is playing back at 30 frames per second. Let's generate an extra frame for every frame, so we get 60 frames per second, and everything looks smoother, right? I'm hyper oversimplifying it. The tech heads can correct me in the comments if they care to, but that's basically what it is. It's a couple of interesting technologies that are able to do a bunch of upscaling, to do a bunch of like image generation to help make things run smoother. It comes with a lot of artifacts. It comes with latency. There are problems with it. There's always trade-offs, but for the most part, DLSS is a fairly popular technology because it allows computers with lower power to run and display video games as though the computer was more powerful than it really is, right? With compromises, but generally speaking, it's helpful. They are now unveiling DLSS 5, AI-powered breakthrough in visual fidelity for video games. As they say, DLSS 5 introduces a real-time neural rendering model that infuses pixels with photoreal lighting and materials, bridging the divide between rendering and reality. Let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. DLSS 5 empowers game developers to deliver a new level of photoreal computer graphics previously only achieved in Hollywood visual effects. 25 years after NVIDIA invented the programmable shader, we are reinventing computer graphics once again, said Jensen Huang, like speaking out of the sleeve of one of his leather jackets. DLSS 5 is the GPT moment for graphics, which tells you everything you need to know about this bullshit, blending handcrafted rendering with generative AI to deliver a dramatic leap in visual realism while preserving the control artists need for creative expression. So let's take a look at the video they put out to demonstrate what it does. Now, if you have eyes in your head and a brain that functions, you may have spotted something quite odd happening right there. You may have spotted a small problem with what the model just did. That's a different person. Those two are not the same people anymore. They look similar-ish, but those are not the same face. So what's going on here? Her eyes get noticeably quite a lot bigger. She wears more makeup. She gets lipstick on her lips, sparkly lipstick, shiny lipstick. Her lips are bigger. Her nose changes shape, quite dramatically, in fact. Her hair changes. Her eyebrows change. That's a different person. So what the fuck is this image model doing? Well, I don't pretend to fully understand any of this shit. But what it looks like the model is doing is that it's using essentially the models of generative AI output, right? Which is to say, the AI model that they've got running on their fucking 5090 or whatever. I think, in fact, the demonstration they're putting out here is running on two 5090s at the same time, because that's how much it takes to make this shit work. And it does essentially what generative image tools on the internet already do, right? Which is, it looks at the frame that's being generated and says, oh, okay, woman. There's a woman in this frame. And then it goes into all of its training data and goes, okay, what does woman look like? Well, woman has large eyes and makeup and lipstick and big lips, and the nose looks a certain way and the eyebrows look a certain way, and it basically applies a fucking TikTok, Instagram beauty filter on top of the character. It yassifies them. It fucking yassifies them. It does a lot of other things too. And the reason why it does this is because there's something fundamental that is a limitation to how these generative AI models work. All of them, every single one without exception. Every single generative AI model regresses to the mean. All of them. And they always will. This is built into their technology. It will never change. All generative AI models, all large language models, regress to the mean. They have to. Because what the model is doing is it's given a certain input. It looks in its database and goes, okay, what is, statistically speaking, the most likely desired output in response to this input? What is the output that, if I generate it, will result in a validation from the user? Right? Like, what output will the user look at and go, oh, yes, that's the thing I was looking for, right? And what that means is the generative AI model doesn't care about art direction. It doesn't care about character design. It doesn't care about aesthetics, cinematography, mood, vibe, anything. It doesn't care about any of that. All it cares about is, what do I think, based on my data, based on my training data, is the most statistically likely acceptable output that I can create based on this input? What is statistically most likely to be accepted as a correct output? And that means regressing to the mean. That means resolving to the lowest common denominator, because that is the thing that is most likely to be accepted by the highest number of users, to be most validated as a correct output, which means, of course, the character is yassified. Of course, she has to look prettier, because in the data set, first of all, the data that all of these models are trained on, lots of different data, but a preponderance of the image data that is available on the internet when it's pictures of women is pictures of women who want to have their picture taken. So it's preponderously more likely to be women who are made up, who are in good lighting, who are who are more likely to be conventionally beautiful than they are to be not conventionally beautiful, because that's what again, statistically, that's what more people take more photos of and put more of them online. More of that is in advertising. More of that is in movies. More of that is in TV shows. More of that is in magazines. More of that is in every form of visual media. Conventionally attractive people are in more forms of visual media than anything else. So therefore, the model has a bias that says, if woman, then makeup. If woman, then larger eyes. If woman, then bigger lips. If woman, then lipstick. If woman, then pretty. Right? But this is fucking Resident Evil Requiem. Clara, whatever, fucking, I've not played Resident Evil Requiem. This character, I do know, is an FBI analyst who's supposed to be a completely ordinary person who gets swept up in a whole bunch of Resident Evil bullshit, right? She's supposed to be an opposite to Leon, especially. Leon is the big fucking action hero, wisecracking, dad-joking, like, dude who, like, the roundhouse kicks zombies and parries, like, chainsaws and shit. This is supposed to be a regular person. Right? An ordinary person who's like has a gun and can shoot a zombie in the head, but who's mostly just terrified, running away, hiding, scared, who's supposed to be relatively normal, relatively relatable, relatively vulnerable, relatively regular. Right? That's the character design of this character. And the model goes, no, she needs to look like she's in a TV show on the CW. She needs to look like she's in a promotional shoot for a Marvel movie. She needs to look like what I, in my statistical model, has categorized as woman, which means conventionally beautiful, conventionally attractive, made up. And so the model imposes itself on it. But that's not all it does. Like, let's not just look at the character design here. What the fuck happens to the colors in this scene? And this is pretty consistent across every single demonstration that they give. This generative model completely fucks up the environment design. I want you to look at the fog behind the characters here. You can see these characters, it's a rainy, dreary, sort of wet, damp day in a big city. Sort of like there's absolutely no sunlight whatsoever. Oh, fuck you. No, there's no fog. Here, misty, foggy, kind of sweltering, damp. Nope, clear. The air is clear. Foggy clear. Foggy clear. Because the model prioritizes cleanliness. It prioritizes clear images over any kind of indistinctness, right? It tries to sharpen everything. And the other thing it does is contrast. Look at the boxes and the plastic and the shit over here. Look at what happens to the colors. Look at what happens to the lighting in the scene. Like here before, we have the lighting coming out of like this little bodega thing on the side of the road. This like warm yellow light that sort of spills onto the metal here, like creating a nice little shine. Fuck you, it's cold now. Not only is the golden light from the shop just gone, the whole color temperature has been changed. All of the contrast has been changed. In fact, what the model does consistently across everything is just blast the contrast up. It increases the contrast. It increases the brightness in everything it touches because, again, in the statistical models that all of these fucking LLMs are trained on, images are more likely to be well lit. Images are more likely to be quite bright. Contrast is more likely to be quite high because that's what most commercial images and most images that are put on the internet and digitized most of the time are more likely to be more high contrast, to be more neutral colors, to be less hazy, to be less indistinct. That's more likely to be part of the training data. So the model replicates that, and it completely fucks the vibes of the scene. The whole color temperature changes from warm, it's like browns and grays and yellows and like generally a fairly, like again, damp, humid cityscape, like smoke, smog in the air, kind of like it's warm, but not in a pleasant way. It's kind of like humid and unpleasant to now it's sharp, now it's cold all of a sudden. It goes in and just fucks with that because that's what the model says. That's what the training data says is most likely to be the output. Here, we have this scene with this uncanny flat lighting, right? Like this weird, like whatever the fuck this scene is, it looks kind of weird and off-putting and uncanny and fucked up. Nope. Fuck you. Fuck you. We are just gonna change the geometry of her whole entire face. And this one, oh, here's another demonstration of what this model does. Here's Leon getting out of his car, stepping onto the scene, right? Like a scruffy 40-ish year old expert zombie hunter, a little bit fucked up with a scruffy beard. He clearly hasn't shaved. Like, this is not a proper beard. This is a man who hasn't shaved in like a day and a half kind of vibe. He's a little bit scruffy. He's a little bit fucked up. It's a dark scene. It's rainy. It's wet. He's stepping out into the scene where you have this like this bright yellow light coming off of whatever scene he's in. He's got some slightly colder light on the side here coming from the car. Look at his eyebrows up here. Look at them. The model invents light that doesn't exist in the scene. The model looks at this and goes, oh, we need an extra lighting source here. We're going to put some more lighting sources in here. We're going to put some more shadows and highlights on this character. We're going to change the entire lighting setup of the scene in a way that makes no fucking sense. Right? Where the fuck is this light coming from? Look at the halo of brightness around every part of his hair over here that just like appears out of nowhere as the model desperately tries to brighten the image because, again, most images that are in its data set are probably more likely to be more brightly lit, more generally higher contrast. So the model just invents a light source. You can see there's even fucking light on top of his head that didn't exist before, as though there's a light source right above him somewhere in this scene, shining down above, but also a light source from the left side that's shining on him somehow, and that's like hitting his eyebrows, and it just invents lighting. It just completely changes the lighting of the scene, the color of the scene, and the look of Leon as a character as well. Look how shiny his lips get all of a sudden. It's profoundly baffling. And this one I really like. I don't know much about football, but this is a real guy because it's from the EA Sports FC thing. So it's like they have licensed like likeness rights to a real guy. Here, the actual video game has like an art style. It's like a little bit flat, a little bit stylized, like a specific kind of caricature of these guys. That's not the same skin tone. That's not the same skin tone at all. He got a lot brighter. He got kind of ashy, actually. Once again, all the color tones kind of seem to change to substantially colder on average. And the disparity between how it treats his face, right? Because the jersey doesn't change that much, does it? Not really. The jersey changes maybe a little bit more saturated, a little brighter, but there's not really any change to the texture of it. It doesn't really look more realistic, but his face... Oh my good God. And now the face doesn't match the rest of the body at all. That texture doesn't look half as photorealistic as the fucking rest of it. That's a real person that they're just fucking with like that. Which is hilarious, but also unsettling. Here's my favorite. Starfield. It's not my favorite, but I don't know what ethnicity this woman is supposed to be in Starfield. I don't know who the character is or whatever. But I sure as shit know that she's white now. That could be a woman of like any like she could be South Asian to some extent. She could be from the Middle East. She could be from Italy. She could be from Spain. Sure, why not? She could be from the south of France. Nope, that's Barbara. She's from the Midwest now. And again with the lipstick. And again with more eyeshadow and like more makeup. Again with changing the geometry of the face. Again with changing the shape and the color of the eyes. It made her so fucking white. It introduces, again, those halos. Not just on the character, but also on the plants in the background here. There's a distinctive bright halo around it as this model desperately tries to crank up the contrast. And the ways in which it fucks up the environment design. Look at this chair in the background, this little bar stool. You see how there's a bright surface area on top of it that's lit? That gives it a nice contrast with the background that makes it stand out and makes the geometry and like the depth of the space quite readable and quite clear. Like, oh yeah, there's a stool and then behind that there's a bar. Fuck you. Take away that bright contrast. Take away that dark shadow. Take it all away. Take it all away. Make it more realistic by making it blend more into the background. Fuck up the whole environment design. And make it colder also. Because model statistically says colder equal better. You want to have an art style? Fuck you. You want to have a certain vibe of sort of like dark and like slightly sort of dusty, metallic. This is like the interior of a space station where people are doing work, and it's like, fuck you. Everything's bright now. We added 4 billion points of brightness to everything in the scene. You want to have a character design style? Fuck you. You want to have a consistent lighting in your scene? Fuck you. No consistent lighting. Fuck you. We'll invent new light sources. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, there's a halo light in front of him, and there's a light off to the side, and there's a light off to the other side as well. He's got lighting on the left, he's got lighting on the right, he's got lighting behind him. He's backlit now. Fuck you. That woman, let's change her fucking hairline. Fuck you. And the level of disrespect, like the thing that bothers me about this, the thing that baffles me, the thing that makes me genuinely angry, and fuck the turf wizard lady, by the way, fuck her, but also, like, the thing that makes me angry is the disrespect, the cruelty. Because whatever these video games are, like products of a corporation, right? Like products of the fucking wizard turf lady, whatever it is. Artists worked on this. People worked on this. Technical artists, cinematographers, environment artists, character designers, lighting designers, color artists worked on this. All of them sat down and made creative decisions about what to put on screen, what it should look like, why it should look that way, how we want this thing to be presented. And what this model does, this generative bullshit regress to the mean statistical average garbage model does, is say, fuck you. Fuck your art style, fuck your character design, fuck your cinematography, fuck the vibes, fuck the feelings, fuck the colors, fuck the contrast, fuck the brightness, fuck the lighting, fuck everything, fuck all the work you did, fuck all the decisions you made, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. I have this slop that I made. I took all of the image data from everything ever, I put it all in a blender, and I produced this slop. And I'm just going to slather that slop on everything. Resident Evil, put the slop on it, right? EA Sports FC, put the slop on it. The same slop, doesn't matter. Like, there's no difference between these things. Fucking Starfield, put the slop on it. Fucking Turf Wizard game, put the slop on it. This one especially. What the fuck is this supposed to be doing? Again, notice how much the color tone of her outfit changes. Those are not the same fucking colors, even remotely a little bit at all. They just changed the colors of the whole thing. They changed the lighting. But also, this Turf Wizard bullshit game, it has an art style, right? It has a stylized art style that's sort of fantasy, like it's sort of quasi-realistic, but it has like this fantasy element to it where characters don't look too realistic because that would sort of break the immersion and make them look kind of uncanny. So, like, it's a little bit stylized, it's a little bit realistic, it's sort of trying to walk a line. I don't like the aesthetic very much, but it is there, right? Like, there's some creative choices being made here. I don't agree with them, but they are there. Fuck you. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck your art style, fuck your stylization, fuck how you want the world to look, fuck you. Oh, you don't want her to be lit like she's got a giant fucking spotlight right in front of her fucking face? Fuck you. Right? You want her to look like she's actually part of the scene and part of the same lighting as the rest of the background? Fuck you. We're inventing new light sources, but the light source is only shining on her. It's not shining on anything in the background. Look how fucking bright her face is lit here. Tell me, where is all of that light in the rest of the scene? Fucking nowhere, because it's an imaginary light source that doesn't exist, because all it's doing is replicating. When people take pictures of old folks, right? Like, especially when you take portrait pictures of old folks, you tend to want to have that high contrast, like with some pretty strong lighting on it, to emphasize the wrinkles, to emphasize the geometry and the contours of the face, and like to really play it up, because that's part of how we show age in visual media in order to like really sort of make it pop and make it visible. Like, oh, this is like an older person. There's someone who has experience, who's lived for a long time. Photographers do this shit all the fucking time. But that's not what this scene is trying to do. This scene isn't a highly lit fucking old person sitting down in a photography studio with a guy who has like a DLSR lens crammed to maximum with. It's a scene of like a lady with a wizard wand stepping out in front of a door for whatever fucking reason. What gets me is the cruelty of this. What gets me is the arrogance of it, the selfishness of it. NVIDIA, I'll remind you, this is the NVIDIA website. They put this out on purpose. They sat down and said, yeah, we have made some technology that makes this garbage, this bullshit, this ugly shit garbage that Capcom made with artistic effort. We made it better by slapping slop on it. By slapping the exact same slop image data bullshit on it, fucking with every part of the artistic expression, and that's better, right? We are, as they themselves say, reinventing computer graphics once again. The most significant breakthrough in computer graphics since the debut of real-time ray tracing. We're infusing pixels with photoreal lighting and materials. That's their language. That's how they talk about this, is like, oh yeah, this bullshit, this garbage, this fucking ass from a hot butt, yeah, fuck that. contrast. We fucking slapped an Instagram filter on that shit. Look how cool it looks now. Look at this garbage. Look how good it is. Garbage, good. Garbage, good. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. The arrogance of it. The cruelty. Like, the fucking people who sat there working on this technology. How could you do this? How do you sit down and you work on this shit and you look at it and you go, yeah, we know better. Oh, the artists, the creatives, the people who actually made the creative choice of it. Yeah, fuck them. We got this statistical slop from the bottom of a bucket, and when we slap that on there, that's better. That's photorealism, baby. That's realistic. And that means it's better, because realism means better. And realism means she's white now. Realism means she's wearing lipstick now. Realism means her eyes are a fucking completely fucking different fucking color. Fuck you. That's what realism means. That's what improvement means. That's what better means, is everyone looks whiter. Yeah, everyone looks more Caucasian. That's better. That's improvement. All the colors are colder. That's improvement. The arrogance of it. The cruelty of it. Like, the attitude you have to have in your brain, in your mind, towards creativity, towards art, towards artistic expression, towards artistic endeavor. And again, fuck Hogwarts Legacy. It's a piece of shit game. It's garbage. No one should play it. But people worked on that shit. People were sitting here making artistic decisions. And here they come with their slop bucket. And what offends me about this is they're not even making decisions. You know, in Skyrim, right? Like, you know the fucking Skyrim Gunnar mods, right? Like, you know the fucking big naturals, J tits out to here, put a 12-foot dick on whatever, make them pretty, like, fully make up, like, all of these fucking make them beautiful, beautifying, pretty mods and shit for Skyrim and shit like that, right? Gunnar mods. I don't like them very much. Like, I think it sort of defeats the point and purpose of playing Skyrim if you tune everything up so everyone looks like a fucking Barbie fuck doll, right? Like, it's not really the, like, but the people who make those mods are making decisions. They're sitting down and saying, I would rather have this. I like big tits. I like bimbo makeup. I like huge lips. I like long legs. I like thighs. I like ass. I like big dick. I like whatever. I like lingerie. I like whatever, right? Like, I have preferences. I have likes. I have feelings. I have vibes. I have desires in my human soul. And I have decided to express them through artistic endeavor, right? And again, not that I necessarily agree with it, but I can understand these decisions. I can understand someone who says, okay, I can mod a video game. I will give my Skyrim character tits the size of basketballs, right? Like, I'll give them tits the size of basketballs. I'll give them an ass with jiggle physics. I'll fucking do what... I can understand that. And it's an expression. However distasteful you may find it, it's an expression of a human interiority, right? Of a human desire, of a want, right? It's an expression of a feeling. It's a decision. People are making decisions about it. They are making decisions. They are weighing options. They're picking the ones they want, and they are striving for an artistic accomplishment. Again, whether you like the accomplishment or not, they're engaging in creativity. They are engaging in art. They are engaging in changing their world. They're engaging in self-expression. This isn't. Because no one made the decision to make any of these changes. No one at NVIDIA sat down and said, you know what, this character would be better if she had bigger lips, if she was wearing lipstick, if her nose shape was different, if her eyes were bigger, if she was wearing more visible makeup, if she was prettier. She'd be better if she was prettier. No one sat down and said that. No one made a decision. No one at any point expressed any part of their human soul, any part of an actual aesthetic, any part of an actual preference. All they did was they scooped slop out of the slop bucket and said, slather that shit on there. What does it do? I don't know. I don't care. That fucking, it's statistical average. It's the statistical average of all of the things, and we slap that on there, and now statistically it's more average, and that's better because the average is better. The lowest common denominator is better, but no one made a decision. No one made a decision about what the lowest common denominator should be. No one made a decision about, like, it's deeply sexist, this bullshit, right? Like, the whole algorithm that this shit is based on is institutionally sexist, not because anyone ever made a decision at any point to be sexist, but because it just inherits the bias that exists in visual media already. All of visual media is an expression of all of society as a whole. All of society as a whole has a general sexism problem, where there is this deeply inbuilt cultural bias that women, above all, should be beautiful, and beauty looks a certain way, and it looks like this, right? That bias is there. It's in the model. No one decided to add it. No one at NVIDIA had the nuts, had the balls to even be sexist. No one made a decision. No one did anything. They just blended up the average slop and slapped it on there and said, now it's better because more photorealistic, because it's the statistical average of everything we had in our fucking data set. No one made a decision. I can respect the Skyrim gooners. I can respect the fucking beautifying modders. I can respect them on the human level that whatever else they are people making decisions. They are people expressing some level of interiority, some kind of feeling. They are engaging with the human condition in some way, shape, or form. However distasteful, however ugly, however stupid, however sexist, however racist, however what fucking ever, at least it's a human expression of something. At least it's a decision that someone made, that it is possible to engage with. At least it is conceivably possible to have an intellectual engagement with it, to have a discourse about it, to think about it, to learn something from it. At least that's theoretically possible. But here it isn't, because no one decided anything. No one made any decisions. No one had any artistic ideas or integrity or input. No one added any component of themselves or their beliefs or their wants or their desires. No one did anything. They just blended up the statistical average of a bunch of bullshit and said, we have reinvented computer graphics by making everything colder. That's the other thing I kind of can't get over with this shit. Look at this scene, for example. Look at this scene, right? This is like a warm scene. Lots of yellows, lots of gold. It looks like sort of the golden hour, maybe a little bit late in the day. It looks warm. It looks hot. It looks like a dry environment, kind of, right? Like it has a certain vibe. It has a certain feeling. It looks like being here would feel a certain way, right? Looks like it would be kind of warm and maybe a little muggy. And it looks like maybe it would be a little bit late in the day and the sun would be low in the sky. Fuck you. 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 It's cold now. Fuck you. It's the middle of the day now. Fuck you, the time of day has changed. Fuck you, the lighting sources have changed. Fuck you, the entire color temperature of the image has changed. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Over and over and over again, just saying fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. Statistical average, statistical average, statistical average. Fuck you, fuck art, fuck creativity, fuck decisions, fuck humanity, fuck the human soul, fuck the human condition. Statistical average is all over the place because statistically, that's statistically more likely to statistically be the most acceptable statistical outcome for statistically the highest number of statistical people. The fucking lowest common denominator determined by mathematical averages, and not a single human decision anywhere to be seen in any of this shit. The level of cruelty it takes, the level of selfishness it takes, the level of narcissism it takes, the level of self-obsession it takes, the level of disrespect it takes for other human beings, it baffles me. I don't understand it. I understand the Skyrim gooners. I understand the people who make the garbage mods for games that make them look shit on purpose because that's just what they like for whatever fucking reason. I comprehend these people. I can understand myself as part of the same species as them because at least they have an interiority. At least they make decisions about something. At least they want something. At least they pursue that want. At least they express that want in a way that is legible and tangible, in a way that requires some level of engagement with the human condition. At least they express themselves. But this default lowest common denominator statistical calculator average fucking garbage bullshit vomited up from the bottom of a barrel of whatever garbage they could get their hands on and they slather it all over everything. The biggest, most valuable company in the world. Don't invest in NVIDIA, by the way. They are selling their own product to themselves in something called circular financing. It's going to crash and burn really fucking hard at some point, probably taking half of the world's economy with it. We're all fucked. And NVIDIA is probably going to be one of the activators and actuators that crashes the entire world's economy in a way that's going to make 2008 look like a fucking picnic holiday. Fuck NVIDIA. But also, how can you be human and do this? How can you be a person and make this and put it on a website like this and go, yeah, this is better. We improve. Who are you? Where did you come from? What kind of fucking inhuman insect pod did you claw your way out of last week? You fucking pod person, non-human. I don't understand. I don't understand these people. I don't comprehend how they can think this way. If anyone says they like this better than that, they're lying. If you say you prefer this over that, you're a piece of shit. You're garbage. You're lying, first of all. You're lying. You're just not telling the truth. You are not telling the truth. You are lying. Whether it's on purpose or subconsciously, I don't know, but you are lying. You can't... No, fuck you. I don't want to know you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to see you. If you prefer this to that, and I don't like Starfield. Fuck Starfield. It's a piece of fucking garbage game. It's boring. It's shit. The art style isn't interesting. Like, it's not even good artistic expression, but if you prefer this to that, you are dead inside. There's something wrong with you. You are, like, you have oppositional defiant disorder, and the only reason why you think you like it is because you think it makes you different or special or something. Like, something is wrong with you. Something is genuinely fucking wrong with you. You are wrong in the head. You have problems in your soul. There's something wrong with you as a human being. I don't want to know you. I don't want to know a person. I don't want to talk to a person. I don't want to be around a person who sees this and thinks, yeah, better. Improvement. Fix your heart or die.